What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV. This is going to be a comparison of two really low priced budget phones. We have they're both new, NUU, and you got the B10 version and the B15. And what's cool about these is the price. So first of all, this one goes for right now, currently at the time of making this video, $199.90 or about 200 bucks. And this one goes for $170 bucks, $30 difference. If you do not want to watch this video, without a doubt, get the B15. It looks, feels, better camera, everything about it is just better. And I'll just give you that right off the bat. But let's run through a few things on here. So let's first look at these phones and I'll show you what's inside the box. Both of these look really, really nice. They're plastic, and I mean, they almost feel like glass, but I believe they're plastic. But this blue is beautiful. Such a nice looking color. And then you got the black on here. Both of them look nice. I actually like the back of the phone. You know, I like the cheaper one. I think it looks better. I think the camera module looks better as well. This might trick people, think you have a special iPhone or something. But both of these look really, really nice on here. You can see both of them use USB-C charging there, so you get nice USB-C charging. The B15 will charge up to 18 watts, so it will charge faster than the B10. Also at the bottom here, you can see a headphone jack on the B15, which is always great. I believe, yeah, the headphone jack is at the top. For the B10, you don't have anything on the left-hand side of these phones except for where you put your SIM card and this phone's doing all kinds of crazy stuff. The SIM card and the SD card. So both these can take up to an SD card up to 512 gigs. The B10 has 64 gigs of internal storage. The B15 has 128 gigs of storage. Both have 4 gigs of RAM. Both of them have different processors as well. On the right-hand side of the phone, you get your volume and power keys. Both of these power keys act as fingerprint sensors. While we have these phones right here, let's just check out which one feels better. One thing that I noticed, let me just say, they're a little, I'm so used to the power button sticking out ever so slightly, and these ones kind of are a little bit hard to find sometimes for me, but I do prefer the B15. I think it feels a little bit easier to find for some reason. The B10 feels a little bit more indented than the other one, so I do prefer the B15 one. But generally, I don't know, the fingerprint sensor feels a little bit faster and slightly more accurate on the B15. I don't know, maybe it's just because it sticks out more feeling wise. Inside the box though is freaking crazy, guys. You're gonna get the same with both. Obviously the B15 charges a little bit faster, but I'm just, I'll open these up, and again, you get the same stuff inside. Check this out. It's freaking ridiculous, some of the stuff that they give you in here. They literally give you, and again, this is in both of them, they give you would think these are just, plain stickers, but they actually give, which it is, but they also give you a glass screen protector to protect the screen, and a case, not a great case, but a case, and a charging brick and USB-C cable. You get the same for both of these. Absolutely amazing. I love that, because the reason you want that too is on these phones it's a little bit difficult sometimes to find accessories for the cheaper, not so popular smartphones, and it's fantastic that that's in both of these. So remember, 128 gigs internal storage on this, the B15, 64 gigs on the B10, both of them compatible with that. Micro SD cards up to 512 gigabytes. Both have 4 gigabytes of RAM. Both run Android 11. Both of them are compatible with T-Mobile. I've heard mixed reviews of these working with other carriers like MVNOs, which are compatible with T-Mobile. So just be aware that if you do buy it from Amazon, make sure you try it to make sure it works with T-Mobile. Otherwise, you can just use these as kind of like Wi-Fi devices. The B15 has a 4,500 milliamp battery. The B10 has a 4,000 milliamp battery, so obviously you're gonna get potentially bigger and better battery life. But the B15 has a 1080p plus display. The B10 has a 720p plus display. Plus, this B15 has a 90 hertz refresh rate, which is fantastic. So it feels a little bit smoother as well. And they have different processors. But I did run a Geekbench mark on both of these phones, and actually kind of surprising. So on the Geekbench score, the B15 won, and the single core score but it lost in the multi-core score, kind of weird. And to me, the B15 feels a little bit faster and smoother. I don't know if it's just because of the 90 hertz refresh rate, but it does feel a little bit smoother and faster. Also, these displays, I know you might not be able to tell, but this B10 display is just, I know it's a lower resolution, but it doesn't look as good. It's a little bit more yellowish. This is such a nice bright white display. It looks amazing, and plus it gets a lot brighter too. I'm about, I don't know, about 40%, 45% brightness on the B15, and I'm about 80% on the B10, and the B15 is still brighter. And that's, you know, display is everything. You look at the display more than anything, and you definitely want the bigger and better display. This display is bigger as well. It's like 6.55 inches on the B10, and on the B15, it's 6.78 inches. So here's both of these displays playing at the same time. They both look fine. Like, this doesn't look bad. I just feel like this one looks better. The colors are better. The brightness is better. It's obviously a bigger display. The camera hole is smaller. You can see. And I don't know, it's ultimately, it just looks better, a lot better to me. I would, without a doubt, choose the B15 just because of that one fact. You know, it's only 30 bucks more, which hopefully won't break the bank for you. And it's a better enough phone. You'll see in a moment with other stuff as well. It just feels, it's just a better phone. Like, here's something weird. Like, when I bring up my recent apps button, I don't have a clear all button on this phone. I have to go to the end, but on this phone, the B15, it's right here. It's in the perfect location. It's weird stuff like that too that makes this phone better. One thing that's absolutely amazing about both these phones, they literally have no bloatware. A lot of the times you'll find games and apps installed on here. This literally had almost nothing installed. It had this new help app, which fine, you know, it's just an app that brings you to their site to get help. There's literally nothing under, just Google apps and a couple apps that I installed. Same thing with the B15. It's amazing. These phones are so low cost and they don't have literally any bloatware. So we're gonna check out some photos and videos that I took with both of these phones. Without further ado, let's jump into that. But before we do, let me just show you the camera apps for both of these phones. One thing I don't like about the B10, again, it's just weird stuff. You can't slide. I have to like click on everything for the different modes. It literally won't let you slide. I don't know why. But this phone lets you slide or click. Again, just weird stuff. So, but another reason I'd get the B15. Man, it's really wild how different these cameras are. And right now the price is like within 30 bucks of each other. And I can already tell off samples and stuff that the B15 is so much better than the B10 in like every single way for the most part, especially in the cameras. I can tell a huge difference. And this is the front camera on both of these phones. Here we go with the back cameras. Here are the main cameras on both of these phones, the B15 and the B10. Which one do you think looks better? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be curious to think about which one looks better. This is really difficult to do when you're just holding these up in front of you. So showing off everything, the B15 to me is just a better overall phone. It has more internal storage right off the bat, double it to be in fact. They both have micro SD cards. They both have headphone jacks. They both are relatively the same in terms of benchmarking. So whatever you do, it should be fairly similar, but the B15 just feels a little bit smoother to me. They both have side mounted fingerprint sensors, but the B15 just feels a little bit better to me. It's easier to find ever so slightly. The B15 has 18-watt fast charging. The speakers, we didn't even show off the speakers. Let me show you the speakers real quick. Okay, speakers are louder and clearer sounding on the B15 versus the B10. So another reason, the cameras are better. Just get the B15, trust me, you'll be much more happier that you got it, and it's literally like, at the time of making this video, $30 more, and it's well worth the price difference. Thanks for watching, have a great day, we'll see you down the road. Peace!